What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today we're going to be continuing with the 5-year rebuild, today using the Dallas Mavericks, a team that was just in the Western Conference Finals, did lose to the Golden State Warriors in 5 games, but they do have the best young player in the NBA, and this one's going to be fun. I've done tons of Mavs rebuilds in the history of Luka Doncic being on this team, and the one constant throughout it is he's always a stud. He's always winning MVPs, always on All-NBA first teams, always carrying teams to championships. Today's hopefully going to be no different. We got 5 years of Luka Doncic. That's not something I can say every rebuild, so I'm really excited for this one today. We'll talk about the team a little bit more once we do get into the video, but real quickly, if you guys have not yet, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could take a chance and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30K, and I'd love to hit it by the end of August. It would mean a lot to me. And of course, if you guys have any other video ideas, feel free to comment them down below. I do see every single video idea, no matter if you think I do not. If I don't heart your comment, I promise you I still see it. I really, really do. So, without further ado, man, we got a 5-year Dallas Mavericks rebuild. Let's see if we can get them their first finals since 2011. Let's do it. We'll quickly go over this roster pretty much as always. Not going to make any trades because this should be a decently accurate representation of what this Dallas Mavericks roster should look like to at least start the 2022 NBA season. So, to be honest with you, they haven't done a ton this offseason. They did lose Jalen Brunson to the New York Knicks. I think everybody probably thought that one was coming. It was a pretty big contract he got from the Knicks. So, I don't necessarily blame Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks for not wanting him to give that. I think this is a team that if they have cap space can make another star signing because they are in a really good spot. The one big move they did make this offseason was acquiring Christian Wood. So I think that definitely solidifies a really good number 2 option there in Dallas next to Luka Doncic to get some nice big man. But let's go over this roster. Luka, superstar player, supermax contract, 100% not going anywhere, probably going to win multiple MVPs throughout this video. Spencer Dinwiddie, good depth piece, entering the final year of his deal. Not sure if I'm necessarily going to keep him the entirety of this video. I'm also going to have him come off the bench because he's going to be somebody that's going to run that second unit because the rest of the bench is not so good. So Luka and Dinwiddie going to be our 2 point guards. Got Tim Hardaway Jr. here, still on a relatively long contract. Not necessarily a guy that I think can be a starting shooting guard on a championship team and is making a decent amount of money, but we'll address that in the offseason. They drafted Jaden Hardy in the 2nd round, who I thought's a really good value pick right there. 74 overall, will be coming off the bench immediately. Hopefully can progress into somebody who maybe goes ahead and, I'm not going to say starts, but you never really know what happens. Oh, God, Frank Ntilikina, the French god, former 8th overall pick. Yeah, he's not going to play. Let's be honest with each other. Josh Green is here as well. He was the 18th overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. I am going to start him today. I think in real life they'll definitely start Reggie Bullock, but with regression and how this game works, starting Josh Green and the progression of him potentially makes a lot more sense for me. He is 21 years old. Reggie Bullock is 31. Real life, though, I'd 100% start Bullock. Christian Wood, who's going to be signed as the number 2 option on this team, came over in a deal with the Houston Rockets. Pretty sure early into the offseason, with the finals still going on when that happened, whenever it was, I believe it was back in June, but he's going to be here. I'm going to start him at the power forward spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and start Dwight Powell at the center position. Again, not sure the exact look of the rotation, the way the Dallas Mavericks are going to do this. Definitely could start Dorian Finney-Smith as well. You could make that argument. I'm just going to go with this. I think it's the best option we do have. I'm not playing Davis Bertans. I just refuse to on that dog shit contract. Dwight Powell is obviously here as well. Not necessarily the best big man in the world, but he should be serviceable enough for one season. They also did bring in JaVale McGee this offseason on a 3-year contract, which I thought was a little bit long for a guy who's 34 years old, but you know what? They see the talent there, and I'm going to go ahead and keep JaVale McGee probably for at least 1 or 2 seasons. Maxi Kleber here as well. It's Maxi Kleber. But we're not making any trades, obviously. We are going to go ahead and set the rotation before we do start Simmons, the first year here in Dallas. We're definitely going to need Luka to carry us to the promised land. I would not say in any circumstances this is a contending team here in 2K anyways. But that being said, 2K does love Luka. You all know that Luka and Zion are basically 1A and 1B of the 2 players that 2K loves the most. So it's absolutely insane. He'll probably win an MVP for us here, but he's obviously going to be our starting point guard. Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Christian Wood, and Dwight Powell, the starting 5. Again, not saying that's necessarily the starting rotation the Mavericks will go with this upcoming season, but here in 2K, I think this is kind of the way that it does make the most sense. The bench unit, Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be our 6th man, as I mentioned, kind of run that second unit. Hypothetically, if I maybe threw him at the shooting guard spot or put Luka at the shooting guard spot, I think we do lose a lot of depth off the bench. So I'm going to go ahead and have him run the second unit. Going to be our 6th man, 22 minutes a night, followed by Dorian Finney-Smith, JaVale McGee, Jaden Hardy, and then Reggie Bullock as well. I would obviously love to play Reggie Bullock more than 10 minutes a night, but at a 74 overall, I'd rather give more minutes to the guys that I think can progress a little bit, like a Jaden Hardy or the guys who are higher overalls like these 3 right here. So that's a little bit of my thought process right now. This team was obviously in the Western Conference Finals last season, so expectations are still relatively high. Are we going to meet those? I don't really know. We unfortunately do not have our first round draft picks. It's from the Kristaps Porzingis trade, who's not even on this team anymore. But the Knicks have it. It is top 10 protected in case we somehow just really suck. But that's the final pick from the Porzingis trade. We have all of them after that. But we would still like to have a really good first season, and I'll see you guys at the end of it. To nobody's surprise, we win the MVP award with Luka Doncic here at the end of the first season. He's absolutely insane, and feels good to finally have him on one of my teams, because it really gets bland seeing him win MVP every single season. But if he's on my team, I'm fine with it. We are the 2 seed here in the Western Conference. I can definitely take that. I can 100% live with that. That being said, we're number 6 in the power rankings. It makes me a little bit nervous heading into the playoffs. Obviously, it's a whole different season once the playoffs do start. Chet Holmgren always wins Rookie of the Year. It's either going to be Simmons or Young for 6-man, and because Trae Young is listed as a shooting guard, or he's the backup point guard because this game doesn't know how to play him and DeJounte next to each other. Let me guess. Giannis, Claxton, no, Jared Vanderbilt, and I don't know. Who's the Pelicans coach again? It's Willie Green. Willie Green is your coach of the year. So, 2 seed. I will absolutely take that. 50-32, not too bad. We're going to have to kind of have a battle of the demigods here in the Western Conference between us and Luka and the Pelicans and Zion. 50 wins is never anything I will be pissed at in your first season with a team I haven't done anything to. Luka leads us in scoring, no surprise there. Followed by Christian Wood, double-double on the season. Really, really solid. He is a free agent, I believe, at the end of this season, correct? Yes, he is. So we're going to have to address that, obviously. We're not just going to let the man go. Second best player on the team. Tim Hardaway Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, JaVale McGee. Josh Green, Jaden Hardy. Pretty solid rookie campaign for a guy who was a second-round pick and probably didn't play a ton of minutes. I think I gave him 14 minutes off the bench, so not too shabby. Rebounds was Christian Wood, assists Luka Doncic. So we actually do have a play-in matchup here in the first round. It's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers, who are potentially the favorites to come out of the West right now. Jason Preston, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Zubats, Malik Monk, Norman Powell. Again, the roster's not updated. That's why a guy like Malik Monk, who I believe is on the Kings in real life, is on this team. If anybody has a shared file that's updated on PS5, please let me know. We just got swept. I meant to sim the game, and then it kind of just happened. And the Kings are a 3 seed, and we got swept by the Clippers. Not exactly the way I was hoping to start this video. Celtics get their finals redemption, albeit not against the Warriors, but Jason Tatum has a bounce-back series and does win a finals MVP. Hey, if I can't win it, happy my Celtics did. So we definitely don't have any picks in the draft lottery. I'll show you guys that. I know a lot of you guys do like to see it. We'll see what happens here. It's going to be the Rockets, the Pelicans. It's great. Exactly what they need. Wizards, Pacers, and then Trailblazers. I don't love Jason Kidd as a head coach, but I'll give him one more season. He does have pretty decent ratings. So we'll address that if the second season doesn't go too well. I mean, obviously we did win 50 games and we're a 2 seed, but that playoff getting swept by a 7 seed, albeit Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, is still not too great. So no draft picks this year. We'll just hop right over the draft. Could be something we look forward to in the offseason. Dinwiddie does have a team option. Did not know that. That's obviously huge for us. I like Spencer Dinwiddie a lot. I'm happy to see him kind of, I don't want to say revitalize his career, but I think I kind of like him a lot in Dallas and the role that he's probably going to be in for this upcoming season. But that being said, I think we can maybe use that asset, maybe acquire another starter, maybe at the shooting guard spot, at the small forward spot, or even our center spot, because those are all positions of need, if I'm being honest with you, on a championship caliber team. But this is a 5-year rebuild, so we can take it a little bit more slow and kind of see how things do end up progressing. So we do have a decent amount of free agents. Number 1 being Christian Wood. He obviously needs to be brought back. This is not a free agency class that I love too much. It's also not one that we're probably going to have any money to be spending. Like, hypothetically, yeah, no, we really don't have any money to spend. So Christian Wood's obviously going to need to come back. But that being said, I'm going to make some trades right now. And Mavericks fans, if you love this core that you have right now, close your eyes. We're going to be doing this trade here with the Toronto Raptors. We're going to be picking up OG Anunoby and Chris Boucher for Dinwiddie, Hardaway Jr., and a first-round pick. Reason I'm doing this deal, we're definitely getting a little bit younger at the starting small forward spot with a guy who I really think can be a starter on a championship caliber team. OG Anunoby, to this day, I believe is an underrated player in this league. I think he does a lot of things really well, and I'm super excited to have him here. So 26 years of age on a 1-year contract, I believe expiring, correct? No, he's a player option, but most likely will decline that now that he is getting starting minutes here. I mean, I know he's probably starting in Toronto, but nonetheless, I am excited to have him here. He will be our new starting small forward. It's nothing against Josh Green. I just prefer him to come off the bench. But we're definitely not done making some trades. We probably got 1 or 2 at a minimum more to do. We're going to see if we can get Mitchell Robinson here from the New York Knicks. I think he'd be a pretty good piece to add to this team, especially defensively, and grab a lot of rebounds. I'd like to have him on this squad. We're going to offer Boucher and JaVale McGee. I'd like to keep JaVale McGee. He's just 35. He's just going to regress. I think you all probably know this and probably kind of agree with this. I'd also be willing to throw in Reggie Bullock again. Just going to keep progressing and not really a guy I need. We didn't have to give up a single pick, and we just got our new starting center here in Mitchell Robinson. So I'm super excited to have him here, 7 feet tall, 25 years of age. pretty good player, if I do say so myself. So Christian Wood, definitely somebody I want to bring back. I'm going to pay the man his money, and hopefully he can kind of be still our second best player. I think I'm going to let Dwight Powell probably go. Actually, nah. I wouldn't mind bringing back Powell. I just don't know how much money he's ultimately really going to want. So let me just check on that. He wants like $6 million a year. It's not horrible. He's 32 years old. I'll probably sign him just that deal and then maybe move on from him after next year. So he'll probably be our backup center to Mitchell Robinson for one more season. And then I'm going to run with Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm going to see if I can get a first-round pick for Davis Bertans. And you know what? I'm going to give you this speech really quick because I've said it before. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want comments down below in the comment section. Let me know if you agree with this. I understand that the trading system in 2K is completely broken. They always say they fix it every year. They make it harder to trade for some players and other players, yada, yada, yada. I think they need to somehow figure out some sort of system that the fact is that Davis Bertans is fucking horrible. He's on a $17 million a year contract. This is not a trade that I should be able to make. I shouldn't be able to get a first-round pick just for Davis Bertans. I should have to offer a first-round pick and in return maybe get somebody else with a bad contract. Hypothetically, if Bertans had 3 years left, I should be able to include him and a first-round pick for somebody on another bad contract for 1 year. Or do something like that. Some sort of system that makes it so I can't just get a first-round pick for a guy on a shitty contract who freaking sucks, for all honesty. So I think that would be something really, really fun. If you agree with that, let me know down below in the comment section. But I should not be able to just get a unprotected first-round pick for this man. I just really shouldn't. This is a swap with the Thunder. I don't really understand the best swap. I mean, I do, but it still kind of confuses me to this day. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the deal. So I don't know if I'm very comfortable with Jaden Hardy starting at the shooting guard spot here, but we don't really have many options, and that is unfortunate. And I really don't want to screw up this bench too much. So if I'm being honest with you, what I might do right now is I think this is a situation where I might sign somebody like a Larry Nance Jr. And then just immediately trade him. And then honestly, I might go ahead and give the keys to the kingdom for Jaden Hardy for year number 2. If he can continue to progress, I might do it. If not, I'm going to probably try to find a decent trade for Larry Nance Jr. I'll do him a first and 26 and another second. I'm just trying to solidify kind of the foundation of this team, and hopefully it can continue to be good. Like a Luke Kennard is not horrible. Is he an expiring contract, though? He's a team option. What were his numbers last season in LA? It was 6. I mean, he only played 16 minutes a game. I hate looking at per 36 numbers because they can be blown out of proportion, but it's not horrible. It's not great, but he might be our best option, honestly. Unless I'm seeing any other options here. Like, yeah. I just don't really think there's a good shooting guard option here. Like, I'm not taking Grayson Allen, so... All right, we'll pull the trigger here on Luke Kennard. We're also getting another first-round pick, so we're basically swapping our 2026 first for their 2027 first. We also have to throw in a trade exception. Luke Kennard's officially on this team. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might still start Jaden Hardy. We are going to be in a 9-man rotation with Luka not having a backup. But, yeah, it's a new-look team. I think we did get better, especially at a lot of positions. So let's see what happens. I'll see you guys in the rotation at the start of the second season. Year number 2 here in Dallas. We are coming off a season of 50 wins. We were 2 seed in the West, and then we got swept in the first round of the playoffs. Not obviously something you love to see, but hopefully we can build upon it. We made a lot of roster changes. Let's see how this one works out. Luka Doncic and Luke Kennard are going to be our backcourt. Very interesting backcourt, I will say. I don't necessarily love it, but I am going to start Kennard. I don't think the progression on Hardy is quite there yet. That being said, in a 9-man rotation, he's playing more minutes, can hopefully continue to progress. Maybe eventually can get that starting shooting guard spot. OG Anunoby is going to provide a lot of hopeful defense that this team maybe lacks a little bit besides him and maybe a guy like Mitchell Robinson. You got Christian Wood here as well. What is his defensive ratings? I honestly don't know. He's D perimeter, B plus post defense. It's not horrible, but I mean, Anunoby's what? He's an A perimeter defender, B plus post defense. Robinson's definitely an A. Yeah, he is. So I'm excited to see what this team can do. Again, I wouldn't say there's necessarily a second star here. I think Christian Wood is very good. I don't know if I put him in the star category. Luke is obviously a superstar. So it's an interesting dynamic. I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully he can be a top of the West again. Bench unit, Josh Green is progressing quite nicely. Again, I know I did replace him in the starting 5. I just think OG Anunoby is just a little bit above him, especially with that defensive side of the ball. You got Jaden Hardy here as well, playing 20 minutes a night, so hopefully it can continue to progress super well. Dorian Finney-Smith, and then Dwight Powell. So a 9-man rotation, 4 guys off the bench. I'm excited to see what this team can do, hopefully again, close to the top of the West. See you guys at the end of the second year. Luka wins his second straight MVP. We are the 1 seed here, and he averages a 37-point triple-double almost 37, 11, and 11 on 51% from the field, 43% from beyond the arc. Yeah, 2K has a crush on this dude. Look, I think Luka Doncic has the potential to go down as a top 15 player in NBA history if his career trajectory plays out the way that it is. I said it. That's my strong belief. I think Giannis has the potential to be top 10 of all time. I stand by those takes. They're not currently true, but they one day could be. They're just projections. That being said, this is nuts. These numbers are absolutely nuts. I think 2K really overdoes it with how much they love Luka. Scoot Henderson, Rookie of the Year, instead of Victor Wembanyama. Interesting. Trae Young, 6th man. Giannis, Stevens, Player of the Year. Shaedon Sharpe, Most Improved. Nate McMillan, Coach of the Year, 66 and 16 over there in Atlanta. We went 60 and 22. I can definitely live with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats on the year. Luka obviously led us in scoring. That was Christian Wood, OG Anunoby, Jaden Hardy off the bench. Not too bad. Honestly, kind of outplayed Luke Kennard, and Luke Kennard played more minutes. Does Jaden Hardy deserve to start? Time will tell. Mitchell Robinson, close to a double-double, around what I was expecting from him numbers-wise. Josh Green, Dwight Powell, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then Chris Chiozza played a little bit as well. Rebounds was Luka, and assists was also Luka. I mean, it's a one-man wrecking crew at this point. OKC here, Shea, Giddey, Ousmane Dieng, Marvin Bagley, interesting addition. Chet Holmgren, Trey Mann, Poku, Jalen Williams. Obviously a very young team, but they are a very deep team. Looks like we're not going to be getting swept at least here in the first round. We're 2-2 right now with OKC. We go down 3-2. And we lose for the second straight year in the first round as a 1 and a 2 seed. That's not very good. I think something needs to change with this team. It feels like a very big regular season team, Utah Jazz. But I need to go ahead and make some changes. And surprise, surprise, Zion wins Finals MVP, the guy that we're going to have to deal with for the entirety of this video. So let's hit the draft lottery again. Definitely don't have a pick in it. Maybe could trade for one at some point. Potentially could be nice. It's going to be the Raptors, Spurs, Nuggets, Kings, and Pelicans. And let me just say this. I'm very happy this is a 5-year rebuild because I think it gives us a lot more flexibility. In the long run, Jason Kidd, you are out. I'm done with you and my boy Stauffer. Let's see if you want to come here and coach. Fuck you, Stauffer. Fuck you, Mike. Lonnie Williams, yeah. I don't know. There's not like a lot of just listed head coaches here. Like, who's Lonnie Turner? The older 2K used to have so many more options, like Billy Donovan, Bickerstaff, Jason Kidd. I'm not bringing, like, he does have good ratings. I don't really know. It's just something about, I don't really love Jason Kidd, the head coach, if I'm being honest with you. I might sign Jacob Underwood. He's an OG guy that I've signed a lot in my older videos, and you know, let's give him a go. Let's go ahead and sign him. Some fucking teams being absolute pricks and just not letting me sign him. Can I try it again if I give him more money? Just straight up just blocked. All right. I'm in the mood. Oh, God. All right. Taylor Jenkins is here. He's a big man coach for the Knicks. I'll give it a shot. Why are you blocking everybody? You fucking pricks. Just let me sign the dude. How often is it that a head coach gets blocked? Oh, good God. I mean, is everybody going to get blocked? I don't even know who Lonnie Turner is, but he's 4 stars on offense and 4 stars on defense. I'll just give Lonnie Turner a go. I will. It's annoying that, like, there's blocking now. Like, I get it's a thing in real life. I don't know how often it happens. Like, I can't think of a recent example, but my lord. We'll draft somebody at number 28. Could definitely maybe use the depth, like a guy like a Dorian Finney-Smith, getting a little bit on the older side. So we can see Mauricio Navarro, who is from Boise State, 6'7". No idea if you're a real person or not, but potentially a Dorian Finney-Smith replacement as our backup power forward. So Dedrick Stevens also here. You know what? Screw it. I'll just take Mauricio Navarro. Not a guy I believe I've ever drafted before. Let's check out his overall. He's going to be a 74. It's honestly not too bad. I can live with that. OG Anunoby declines. Kennard is going to come back. Probably not going to be the starter for me next year. Josh Green is going to get the qualifying meet. Oni no, and Jaden Hardy definitely getting that qualifying. Second round pick, so he's only on a 2-year deal. So this is a pretty big free agency for us. OG Anunoby, have to pay the man. I need to get him back on this squad. I'm going to wait here on Josh Green, and I'm also going to have to wait on Jaden Hardy because we do not have his bird rights, unfortunately. So everybody else pretty much free to go here. We got Bo Cruz here. That's funny. But, yeah, so we'll wait here on Josh Green, just make sure he doesn't get his qualifying offer. I do want to give him a real contract, but something's got to give because we definitely have to make some changes. There's just absolutely no way I can leave this team exactly the same for another season because it was not... I cannot deal with this in the playoffs. We can't just be good in the regular season. That's just not going to work for me, if you will. So, yeah, let's make another trade. We're going to go ahead and make a really big offer here to the Atlanta Hawks for DeJounte Murray. Get a little bit of defense in that backcourt with Dorian Finney-Smith, Luke Kennard, and Dwight Powell. I think you can kind of understand why I'm moving on from all these guys. Final year here, the deal for DFS. And we just drafted Navarro, who hopefully can be his replacement. He's also 31 years old, where in 2K world is for some reason the regression point. But he's not an easy guy to replace, and I don't necessarily want to trade him. He's kind of the one guy I'm a little resistant to trade in this deal, but I think it's something that's kind of happened because Luke Kennard honestly wasn't too great for us. I think he kind of got outplayed by Jaden Hardy in 12 less minutes for Hardy, so we'll see. And then Dwight Powell is just on the older side now. He's going to regress even more. So it's a lot, but it's DeJounte Murray. They have a counter offer. They want Josh Green, who I just signed to a deal, who I believe played pretty well for us last year. It's pretty decent. And our unprotected first next year. They'll throw in Clint Capella too. I just don't really need Clint Capella. Wait, can I just do this? Can I just give you my first round pick? All right, they agreed to that. I maybe could have done this, but like I'm very fine with Mitchell Robinson. He's cheaper. He's on a longer contract. Actually, he might not be that much cheaper eventually, but after next season, he'll be cheaper. So that being said, we just got a really underrated player in this league, in my opinion, in DeJounte Murray. We're going to move Luka to the shooting guard spot. I'm still going to try to have him be my primary ball handler, but that being said, I am going to start DeJounte Murray at the point guard spot. A little bit shorter. I think he's definitely better on defensive, and I'm fine with it. I mean, these two guys, it doesn't really matter. They're both stars. So, yeah, I'm happy we're able to keep Josh Green. The rest of the starting five is also pretty much staying. Our bench unit is pretty much dwindling at this point. So I definitely need to wait on Jaden Hardy. He will be my backup shooting guard. So I just want to have a backup for DeJounte Murray, and then Luka will have a back. It doesn't matter. He's going to be the one guard coming off the bench for us. And then I need to figure out a new backup center. So let me sign somebody here, like a Hernan Gomez. It's not great, but it's doable for maybe a season. And then I'll wait on Jaden Hardy. Then I'll see you guys at the start of, year number 3 here in Dallas. We made a really big trade to acquire DeJounte Murray. I'm super happy he's here. We obviously gave up a lot of depth for him, so that's something we could be lacking this year potentially. But he's an overall huge upgrade in our backcourt. Him and Luka Doncic. It's going to be a really scary duo, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. OG Anunoby's still here as well, Christian Wood and Mitchell Robinson, so those 3 guys come back from last year as well. I don't have a problem with any of them. I think they all can really help contribute to a championship, and that is the goal here. Bench unit, Josh Green and Jaden Hardy really got to carry this squad off the bench. Other than that, it's Hernan Gomez and it's Mauricio Navarro, who is a 28th overall pick. Yeah, and is a rookie, 74 overall. So we will see how things go here. We've made some upgrades. We've lost some depth. Let's see how that turns out. I'll see you guys at the end of the 3rd year. Luka takes his 3rd straight MVP as we are once again a 1 seed. We have not won a first-round matchup yet, so I really don't care about the regular season. But Luka's absolutely insane, and that's absolutely nuts. I mean, everything went down a little bit. That's going to happen when you add a guy like DeJounte Murray to play next to him, but still insane. Kwame Evans Jr., Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, 6th man. Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year. Victor Wembanyama, Most Improved. Lonnie Turner, I believe he's actually our head coach. Again, probably a real person. I have no idea who he is. Far and away best record in the league for us. Luka, Wood, Murray, OG Anunoby, Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen, who? Is that man in my rotation? Wait. How did this guy end up in my rotation? Wait, what? Oh, I must have screwed this up somehow. I don't know how this dude ended up in my rotation, but goddamn, I got to change some things here. I do not want him in the rotation. All right, that's my bad. I could have sworn I had it set to a 9. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I probably forgot to do? I probably forgot to change it to a 9-man, and then it kind of auto gave the guy minutes. That is really weird. My fault, anyways. He's not going to be in it for the playoffs. I mean, it's a little bit more realistic, maybe. I mean, coaches do kind of dumb down their rotation in the playoffs, so we'll see. D'Lo, Wendell Moore, Ant, Precious Achiuwa, Rudy Gobert. Looks like they lost Cat. His Supermax isn't updated, but there's no way we're losing this first-round matchup. We win it in 5. Golden State here, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, the cum bucket, James Wiseman. Oh, God. Steph Curry teams are always going to scare me no matter what. So we got a rematch of the 2022 Western Conference Finals. This time it is going a lot differently as we are up 3-1. I believe that's actually the same exact way because Golden State was up 3-0, then Dallas won 1, and they closed them out in 5, correct? I believe that's how it went. Houston here in the West Finals. KPJ, Jalen Green, Terry Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Tingus Pingus, Şengün, Kenyon Martin Jr. If you guys want to see a Rockets rebuild soon, let me know in the comment section. It's a team I've been thinking about doing. We're down 2-0. We come back, win Game 3, win Game 4, win Game 5, And we won 4 straight. Now we got a matchup here with the Atlanta Hawks. So DeJounte Murray's old team. Young, Okoro, Hunter, Collins, Capella, Okongwu, Johnson, Herter, Luke Kennard, and Dorian Finney-Smith barely cracking the rotation. Just shows how good that Hawks team is, how deep that Hawks team is. We're 2-2. I'd love to hop in and get some gameplay, but I don't want to risk getting the glitch where it just loads forever and then we cannot finish out this 5-year rebuild. So I will simcast it and we'll see. We'll sweat this out together here on our home floor in Game 7. Can we win our first championship of this video? 74-76 with 8:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Can we close them out? I have confidence in Luka. I do. I have confidence in Luka, and we win a championship in our third season. That is 1 down. I would like to get 2 more potentially. Luka Doncic, at the age of 26, 99 overall, wins his first Finals MVP. So let's hit the draft lottery again. Really don't have any picks. Probably my first. Oh, that's a swap, isn't it? We definitely don't have the right pick. Yeah. We don't. Oh, wait. No, yes, we do. It's at number 6. Holy shit. That swap worked out for us. I forget what that trade was for. Was it for like Bertans or whatever it was? It's a good trade. Lonnie Turner. Congrats, man. You were a new head coach and you just carried us to a championship. Maybe Jason Kidd was the problem. No, we added DeJounte Murray. I can't give Kidd too much yet. But, yeah, number 6th overall pick. Which draft class is this? 25. So, Isaiah Loheim, Brennan Bailey. Yep. Those are the guys there. Let me look up a mock draft just so I know who the best potential player to take is, and I'll see you guys in the draft. So I got my mock draft open. Unfortunately, I do not know this draft class at all. So, yeah, it's like Cunningham, Aloheim, Trey Johnson, and Ian Jackson. So let's look at the summary so far. It was Aloheim, Barry Hood, Brendan Bailey, Jeremy Simon, Alejandro Alvarez. Let's see who's on the board for us here. Let's see if any of these guys that are listed here are on the board. I mean, obviously, it's hard to predict a 2025 draft class. That being said, I'm not seeing even one person here who, like, is Gilbert Roberts here? Who are you? Clifford Rhodes. I'm just assuming that these just aren't even real people at this point. Yeah, I have no idea who they are. B- overall, though, for Gilbert Roberts. You know what? Why not? I could take him. Could be a depth piece. Could be in a trade. We don't necessarily have a pure backup point guard right now. He's actually 78 overall. Really not too bad. But, yeah, I couldn't find any of the guys in the draft, so... or projected mock draft, so we'll see. Hardy has another qualifying offer, which is obviously great for us. I'd like to bring him back. Good bench piece for us. Other than that, do we have any other free agents? I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't too bad of a year. I mean, we won a championship, so I really don't or plan on making many trades. So I might dump it to a 10-man rotation. I really might. I think Gilbert Roberts, who we just took 6th overall, could really help out this team. That being said, I would potentially like a new backup center. So... do I have bird rights here on? Yes, I do, on Jaden Hardy. So I'll actually wait till moratorium's over to give him a real contract. And then, ew. That's not too fun. You know what? I'm going to sign Luke Kennard, and I'm going to package him in with Hernan Gomez, and then we are going to go ahead and trade for some sort of new backup center, just because I think we can make the upgrade. So I'll wait on Jaden Hardy as well, and then I will give him a real contract here. After the moratorium phase is up, he wants like $8 million a year. It's very doable. I think he's been really good for us. So, Jaden Hardy, welcome back to the squad. I'll just stick with you guys right now, and we can go through this, and we can make some trades. It was Luke Kennard and Hernan Gomez, and I'll throw in a 2nd-round pick for a different backup center, preferably somebody a little bit younger, maybe a longer contract, like Walker Kessler or Johan Traore could be fun. Honestly, neither of them have really played a ton. Jonas Valanciunas, who's now 33 years old, but we also get a 1st-round pick. Honestly, that's perfectly fine by me. I'll take that first, even though I believe it was from Houston Rockets. Maybe, I don't know. This is the team. We're going back to the 10-man rotation. I'm excited. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 4. Start of the 4th season. We are fresh off a championship. One small move to the starting 5. We bump it up to a 10-man rotation, and we drafted Gilbert Roberts with the 6th overall pick. DeJounte Murray, Luka Doncic, OG Anunoby, Christian Wood, and Mitchell Robinson. The bench unit, Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, Roberts, Jonas Valanciunas, and Mauricio Navarro. So the bench is also getting better, which is definitely something I am happy to see. We're in a 10-man rotation. Want to make sure I don't screw that up here for our boy Lonnie Turner, who just won a Coach of the Year and a championship in his first year. Not too shabby if you ask me. I will see you guys at the end of the 4th year. It's a very sad day because Luka Doncic finally didn't win an MVP, but nonetheless, we are still the 1 seed here in the West. LaMelo Ball gets it done. He's also a guy that seems to win them quite a bit. In these 5-year rebuilds, Roy McDaniel's your Rookie of the Year from the 2020. Yeah, he was 23 when he got drafted. Interesting. Chet Holmgren, 6th man of the year. No idea how this man is not starting. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Chris Livingston, Most Improved. Lonnie Turner, we go 61-21. That's absolutely beautiful. Wins his 2nd straight Coach of the Year. We were 2 games up on the Houston Rockets, who we beat in the West Finals last year. We're in another really good spot. Luke is obviously insane. DeJounte Murray, Christian Wood, Anunoby, Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Gilbert Roberts, Robinson, Valanciunas, Mauricio Navarro. Take a look at the rebounds. That was Mitchell Robinson, and assists was DeJounte Murray. So, wow, I think it's the first time in the video that Luka didn't lead us in either assists or rebounds as well. Interesting. We got a rematch with our old first-round matchup here in year number 1. The team looks a lot different. They've added Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Sabonis, Otto Porter Jr., They've lost Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but nonetheless, still a really good team here in Los Angeles. This is a different look kind of to their team. We end up winning in 5. Moving on to the Utah Jazz. Henderson, Okoro, Brandon Ingram. So they have definitely rebuilt their team. They've moved on from Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, Rudy Gobert found a new home as well. They've done a really good job, I'd say, there in Utah. But let's see if they're still a regular season wonder. And yeah, they are. On to the West Finals, D'Anthony Melton, Malachi Branham, Kwame Evans Jr. This is a really young team. They're good. There's depth there. I just think we blow them out of the water. There's just probably really not too much competition there. They get game 4 in, we win in 5. And we got the Detroit Pistons here in the NBA Finals. Monte Morris, Cade Cunningham, Hamidou Diallo, Miles Turner, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Isaiah Loheim. Wow, how did they get him? That's nuts. Duran there on the bench as well. That's really good. All right. We are up 3-1, though, and we close them out in 5. Luka wins his second straight Finals MVP. We're going for the three-peat today. We really are, because we are trying to do that, because I think it would be really fun. And, yeah, we are. Oh, my God. Is that Brooklyn pick unprotected? No. Oh, my God. How do I keep going right over this? We now have the number 5 overall pick in this draft, and honestly, I don't really know what to do with it. Lonnie Turner's not going anywhere. I really don't. You know what I might try to do? I think we're at the point where I might try to trade one of the bigger players we have in this team, i.e. Christian Wood, just because he's on the older side. Again, we've added a lot of pieces to the team, also helps contribute to his numbers going down. I'm not saying he's playing bad at all, but I think we're at a point now that we've won 2 championships in a row that either him or maybe somebody like OG Anunoby could be traded and could look for an upgrade. So I'm not saying I'm definitely trading either of these guys, but I think it could spice up the video a little bit. So let's see what we can find. We're going to offer this here to the New York Knicks and see if we can get RJ Barrett from them. Again, I don't know necessarily if this is a package that they'd want to take. Valanciunas is only in here because he helped make the money work, but oh, wow, they took it. Well, we traded OG Anunoby. I thank him for his time here. He played really well for us, did his job, and helped us win 2 championships. But RJ Barrett, at this point in time, is clearly a much better player. He's also a better player in real life, if we're being honest. But yeah, welcome to the team, RJ Barrett, our new starting small forward. I decided to keep Christian Wood. He's been here the entirety of the video, and I did not mean to hop into the draft. We don't have any other picks, right? We do not, so I'll just sim through this. But yeah, we're in a fun spot right now and potentially looking to three-peat. So nobody we did not draft there. Mauricio Navarro, I definitely would like to bring back. And the only person that we really need to sign right now is backup center. It has been such a relief having Luka Doncic. Wow, look at this. That's insane. Surprised that interest is... All right, wow. Because that interest wasn't like crazy low. I don't know. It'd be fun to see if maybe those guys would sign. Because if you guys watched my video yesterday, you saw that, who was it? Chris Middleton signed with like, I forget what team it was. Maybe it was back with the Bucks for like $1 million. So that was weird. I don't think, yeah, so like Jimmy's not even interested. But I was surprised the interest on KD and Steph was actually like as high as it was. Obviously, it wasn't high enough to entice them to sign here for super cheap, but it was still fun. Oh, shit. How did I not realize Mitchell Robinson was a free agent? All right, well, getting him back is definitely something I need to make sure I do. I would have been completely like royally fucked, for lack of a better term, if I just let him go or skipped over a day. Now we're looking for a backup center here. Maybe could sign somebody. Let me sign like Matisse Thybulle, and we'll go ahead and trade him and a couple remaining picks for a new backup center. And then we're in a really good spot. We really are. We've just won 2 back-to-back championships and looking to make it 3. So Matisse, you and 2 first-round picks, both unprotected for, let me see, who are the options here? I'm actually kind of mad I traded Valanciunas. He was kind of like the perfect kind of bridge guy to kind of have. Goga might be my option just because we don't really have many better options if we're being honest with each other. Sorry. Yeah. No, I'm taking Goga. Goga, welcome to the squad. Going to be our backup center. We got another 10-man rotation. I will see you guys at the start of the 5th and final year. Year 5, we have won back-to-back championships. We made a huge upgrade at the starting small forward spot, adding RJ Barrett to obviously a championship caliber team. I'm super excited here for this final season. DeJounte Murray, Luka Doncic, RJ Barrett, Christian Wood, and Mitchell Robinson, who we signed to an extension that I almost just blanked over, and that would have really sucked. Bench unit, Gilbert Roberts has progressed super well, is going to be taking over that 6-man role, backing up DeJounte Murray. It sucks, and what really sucks for me is like Jaden Hardy did not progress as much as I really wanted him to. I mean, he's played less minutes. Why does that say Charlotte? What in the hell? This game is so broken. Like, looking at his numbers from, like, the second season we had him here. Wait, why are these his numbers? That's just so weird. It sucks because I think his numbers were actually even better than this in this first season. I don't know why 2K is just changing things up. But, you know, we never really allowed him to reach his full potential because the way the video kind of played itself out and all the changes we made, it kind of sucks. I really wish he kind of got up to a higher overall. Maybe could have even started for us. But nonetheless, he still got minutes. He still has 2 rings, and this is a super fun team. I'll see you guys at the end of the 5th. Final year. Year 5 is officially over. Once again, we are atop of the West. We are basically running the entirety of the NBA at this point. 1 in the West, 1 in the power rankings. 2 MVPs throughout this video. Luka won 3. LaMelo wins 2. He gets his 2nd in a row. Koa Pete is your rookie of the year. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure who this man is, but he seems to be pretty good. De'Aaron Fox, 6th man of the year, is now in Washington, D.C. Interesting role for him. Jonathan Isaac, Defensive Player of the Year. Finally get somebody besides Giannis, even though he's on the Bucks. I don't know if Giannis left or whatever the situation is, but interesting. Brendan Bailey, most improved. Lonnie Turner, 69-13. Nice. Far and away our best record yet. I will take it. We were 5 games up on the Spurs, who won 64 games. I believe we actually won, 4 or 5 last year when we played them. Luka's numbers have gone down. That being said, we've added more talent. We've added younger talent as well to the bench, so we've also gone from a 9 to a 10-man rotation. We've had 10 for the past 2 years now, but that being said, those numbers are still absolutely nuts. I'm not shaming the guy at all, but I'm just kind of maybe explaining a little bit why his numbers are going down a little bit. It's not what you maybe what it seems to be on paper. Sacramento here in round number 1. They were actually a 3 seed in the first year, and I just haven't even seen them since. But interesting team. They're just not even remotely good enough to probably even win a game against us. So we sweep them. Moving on to, oops, did not mean to do that. Utah here. They added Zach LaVine to their team. All right, that's definitely an upgrade, and they've definitely added some depth as well. But I just think we're still a lot better, but interesting additions there in Utah. We win in 5, and we are on to the West Finals, and oh boy. The matchup that I cannot that's definitely from a Lakers pick. Julius Randle is back in New Orleans. Interesting. How many years? He was in 1 or 2 years was he in New Orleans? 1. That was it. Wow. That's tough. This is ridiculous. I mean, 2 generational prospects in their front court right now. I cannot believe that it took this long for this matchup to happen, and we sweep them out of their own fucking building. Thanks for coming. Detroit once again here in the NBA Finals. Morris, Cunningham, Aloheim, Wendell Carter Jr., Miles Turner, Isaiah Stewart, Okongwu, Sylvester O'Neal. Let's see if they can get a little bit of revenge on us. We are 1-1 with them right now. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1, and I'd like to get a little bit of gameplay, I think, today. We're on our home floor here in the American Airlines Arena, and we're literally getting, oh boy. You know, not the way I kind of wanted to end the video. All right, we're battling back a little bit. And is it too far out of reach at this point? Yeah, it probably is. All right, we lose by 2. We are now going to Detroit. And, wow, again, not off to a good start. We gave up 40 points in the first quarter. This is not a good way to close out a final series here, people. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Now we're going to Game 7, back on our home floor. And again, I'd like to get some gameplay. If we could maybe not royally fuck up a 3-1 lead, that would be great. Is that too much to ask for with Luka Doncic, who's undoubtedly probably the best player in the world at this point? Yeah, no, we're good. I'll see you guys in there. On the verge of winning our 3rd straight championship, we went to 7 games, which is not necessarily something I wanted to do. But it's something that did happen. That's not what I meant to pass to Luka. It did happen, though. And ultimately, it's not the... Oh, shit. Not what I meant to do. I don't think there's any way I can blow this lead, but I'd be surprised. We'll do what I kind of always do at this point in time throughout the video. It's also really cool playing with Luka. It's, again, not every day I get to use him, so super fun. Luka right up to the rack. Pretty much the whitest dunk I've ever seen. All right, so this Dallas Mavericks team was obviously in the Western Conference Finals last year. I think everybody kind of knew going into that series. You kind of looked at it and said, hey, there's just absolutely no way that this Dallas Mavericks team is actually going to win this series, and that's fair. I mean, that Warriors team was unbelievable. Obviously went on to win the finals, beat my Celtics. It still hurts me to this day, even though I think the Celtics are hopefully going to be back in the finals this year. That being said, though, this Dallas Mavericks team, I don't know if I'd necessarily say they're going to be back in the West Finals. 100% still a playoff team. They're definitely not like a play-in team or anything like that. But I just don't know, man. I just don't think when it comes to, like, especially when you really kind of break down the roster, I think it's going to hurt losing Jalen Brunson a lot. And, you know, I know they still have guys like Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, and they added Christian Wood to their roster. But I just personally don't see a way, especially with a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, having Kawhi and Paul George back. And, like, the Warriors still probably running the West. And who knows what's going to happen with some of these other teams, man. I don't personally think they're going to be back in the West Finals. I don't think they're going to be in the NBA Finals, but I still think they're a very good team, and they could definitely give a lot of challenges to a lot of these teams that I think are probably favored over them right now. That being said, though, Luka Doncic is my pick for the MVP. I think he's ultimately going to go ahead, finally crack that, finally win it. I think I probably picture the Mavericks around a 4 or 5 seed, because what were they this year? Were they a 5 seed this year? I believe that is what they were. I believe. I'm not 100% on that. It's a 4 or 5 seed, I believe. But again, this is a really good basketball team here, and I'm excited to see Luka prosper in the future, because I do think, as I mentioned earlier, I think he has the potential to be top 15 all time, if not even higher. So that's my take on that. We'll do one final offensive possession here. You know what? Fuck it. It's a bad shot. I'll do one more after this. I hate the shot meter, and I don't think the one next year is going to be much better. I know a lot of like the better 2K players play with it off, and honestly, if I was good at 2K, I probably would also play with it off, but I'm just not. So I have to keep it on. Kick it out here to green. 3? No. All right, I'll see you guys at the Finals MVP. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess and say it was the 3rd straight Finals MVP for Luka Doncic, and yes, it was. A little bit lower in pretty much every single department, but still nonetheless, far and away the best player on this team, probably far and away the best player in the league at this point. So, one more look at the final roster. We ultimately made a really fun team. I had a ton of fun with this one. A 3-peat is obviously always super enjoyable for me, and I think we turned this team into a really good team. So, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. It'd be greatly appreciated as always. Of course, we're on the road to 30K. Every single one of you counts, and I do really appreciate every single one of you that does subscribe and watch all of my videos. It means a lot to me. It really does. So let me know any other video ideas you want to see down below in the comment section. I think the teams like this are super fun, and they're why I really do love doing rebuilds. So let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I love you guys. Catch you guys all in the next one.